Welcome to Rat and Cat, where we search for those who've gone missing so others can learn how to survive. I'm Nakia. This video is going to be a little more rough than some of my other videos. It's kind of more of a field journal. I'm going out on a training exercise with search and rescue. It's about practicing, rehearsing wilderness survival skills. So I'm going to be participating and not have as much time to pick up my camera, but I'm just going to pick it up whenever I have a minute, or if there's something that's interesting that I want to remember later. I know I'm going to enjoy rehearsing these skills, and I'm sure I'm going to learn some new stuff, and I hope you do too. It's Saturday morning, and I am headed out for a wilderness survival training course for search and rescue. Silver Star, it's below Silver Star, Larch Mountain here, and man, I think we're in Skamania right now. I can't remember if this is the edge of Clark County or not in Washington State. And I don't really know about what the content of it will be about specifically. It's going to be 4 hours, but I'm looking forward to spending some time with some people and learning. My wife's a little upset with me for ditching her with the kids for the morning on a Saturday morning, and she watched them all yesterday and yesterday evening too, and so I'm gonna have to take a turn this afternoon and give her some free time so she doesn't get too upset with me. Helga, and she is coordinating today's activity, our training. Can you tell me what we're doing?
We're going to be doing a wilderness survival training as it pertains to SAR. So how to stay dry, how to get dry once you've gotten wet, how to build a shelter given various terrains, and navigating using both map, compass, and GPS. And purifying water, because we got to make sure our equipment works.
Sweet. Sounds like a good time.
It's perfect weather for it.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Okay, all ones are on the same team. Go tromping through the trails and into the woods. With located good place to build shelter and good place to purify water. And we're going to combine navigation with it. So, you have a sheet from me that looks like this. Actually, you might not. Well, each team should have one. And we're right now at the Ackholt Burn Trailhead, point 1. Record your GPS coordinates here. So in your team, record it on your GPS, record it in your waterproof paper, record it however you would record it if you were going out on a mission. And then, as a team, get together and go to the coordinates there in point 2.
Those was like 10 feet off, like forward still, but we're just like 10 feet off from where.
10 feet off your target?
Well, we still got to go forward a good. Stupid arrow won't move.
Axe, huh? I don't have any sticks of any kind. Yeah.
So we've got two teams here, and this is the shelter that we made. It's kind of open on the one end. You can adjust it down, you're saying, at night if it gets windy and stuff.
So, or for summer when it's warm, using this one. Bring that back up for more air.
That's nice. So this is a freestanding tent, no trees used. I'm curious about this other team though, because they built a door or.
The thing I would do here is the whole materials at night.
Yeah, they do a fold on their shelter.
Well, mainly it's used for
Right, yeah.
like preparing stuff off the
Yeah,
ground.
cut branches. And
So I can put my
create
knees on it.
bedding.
I can do, if I need to prep some work or whatever, to do some sort of, if I,
I'm
I could even, put my little stove on there if I wanted to, just to keep stuff off from the wet ground.
Yeah. Can you kind of go over what you did here with
Yep.
how
This
this
is
works?
super quick. This is super easy. This is probably the fastest one that you'll ever make. but it requires mostly a square tarp. So because of the dimensions that way.
Okay.
So all that you would do would be to we'll reverse it basically. These 2 points are from the two ends of the square, right? So I have my pole in the center. I stake out 2 corners of a square tarp, just like that. And then I grab my 2 other ends here and I bring them together. You gotta flip up the middle, bring them in here like this, and then pull that taut.
And that's where you get your height.
Stake it. And then I take my pole or a stick of the right height. You could measure it first. Crawl inside and push it up.
That's really cool.
Obviously, the higher I make it, the tauter it gets. And you got room to lay across. If you can peek in, there's room to lay across the back if you really needed to. This ground isn't perfect, but
Right.
and then once you crawl out, you have a flap that could be topped over to the side.
So what's the size of your tarp?
9 foot by 9 foot square. If you had a line on the end of that tab, you could reach out from out underneath and then pull it across and stake down and keep the water out.
Cool.
You could also continue to stake your sides down here to make it a
you
little.
could fold them over, of course, stake them out, get yourself some more room,
Yeah, okay.
or if there was snow, or you could
pack
pile
snow.
stuff here.
Not counting the gear, you could get probably 3 people.
If you really needed to and you were real friendly with them, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our shelter. And this shelter that we had with the blue tarp was, do you know what the dimensions on it were? 10 by 8. But it wasn't square. And so what we found out is that it doesn't work like that. It kind of leans to one side if it's not a square. And he was just saying that his tarp is 9 by 9, and if you go 10 by 10, it's actually a lot more material and adds another half a pound. So what he has now is 1.5 pounds, so that's actually quite a bit of weight for just a little bit more. So it's not really worth the extra space for the weight.
Hold the line.
Hold the line. Hold the line.
So we've got this mission that we're on, or a list of tasks that we're doing for this exercise. We've looked at our position and where we were going, and navigated using GPS and compass. GPS and compass in the map, and built a shelter. Now we're off to locate water source, record coordinates, and purify a cup of water to drink.
Yeah, right about in there.
Yeah, that's where I have a stick.
Right at the intersection.
There about.
Okay, so did you get it off your GPS?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this way again.
There it goes.
Hold my map north.
There you go. So it's, yeah.
So
So
step
east,
one,
you
when
go
you
east.
step
and that-
one when
what's
you
that?
leave base is gonna have to be put a big arrow.
Yeah.
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 So what's this at the bottom? So the first coordinates are easting. You read your easting, which is 5-2. So you see,
2033,
yeah. So that's 5-2. So that's that line there, and it's 5-2, and then it's 0.37. So it's 37 meters into the 5-2 easting. Okay. So then you go north. You get your northing, and it's 67085. So here's yep. So you can first find the intersection, right? Here's the 5-2, right there, right? So now you know that you're 38 meters that way and 90, 100 meters north. So you're right about there. Okay. That's the beauty of UTM.
UTM is so much easier than that one.
Yeah.
I know I was stubborn going away from that
Yeah.
long, but I like UTM.
So does any of this tell us like 083, 0.06? None of these matter.
No, that's just for
Just
scaling.
distance.
Okay.
Just for scaling.
was just talking about how I'm using a SteriPen to filter water, and it's a lot lighter than or smaller and more compact, and doesn't take all the time and effort as my old Pure water filter hand pump. But with the filter straws and squeeze filters that they have that are really light and small, I'm probably going to be switching to that in the future. But this is what I have for now, and it's nifty. It takes about a minute to purify this.
Step 4 on here.
Oh, okay.
Coordinates for your next shelter.
Shelter before. What's the point for?
I thought you meant 0.4 miles.
Since you just located where you're at on the map, the easiest would actually be to just locate this on the map and walk over there, or you can do GPS or whatever method you prefer.
So our team is headed out to the next coordinates, trying to find it where we're supposed to build another shelter. So our assignment here is build a plow point shelter that we're doing together, where the tree is part of the shelter itself, blocking the wind. And we've actually just used sticks for the stakes. Which one problem is this one I tripped over it and knocked it out, but it's actually working pretty good here in the soil. It's pretty soft, but firm enough. The roots are holding it in place. But we haven't gone through and cut down the ferns and the foliage underneath, which we would need to do for insulation if we were going to stay under here. The idea is that you could shelter storm, take care of somebody in need, somebody that needed to be warmed up while you're building a fire, getting that ready, or waiting for other help to arrive. So you could fit several people under here. Okay.
So that's for a solid anchor. So you can put the bow line in one end as a solid anchor, and then use the top line on the other one to adjust and tighten.
Okay. So the taut line, TAUGHT.
Yep.
And
Bow line.
bow line.
BOW.
BOW. Okay.
And in summer, you know, maybe just want to
But
shade.
I want to continue going down your path because I want to get these sides down, because I don't want that wind will definitely work its way in. I want to make sure we get the sides down. But if we were sheltering the patient, yeah, this would work.
It's quick,
Yeah.
it's fast, it's
Yeah.
dirty,
And it's adjustable.
and it's adjustable. And then when the wind changes, you just pick up your outside point and you just rotate around that tree, if you have the room, of course. If you can.
I had I picked this spot because it seemed to be dry, a lot of wet areas in here. And I thought, well, in between these logs, there's a nice spot and it looks perfect. But if you get in there, it's real squishy, so wouldn't have worked.
Make a loop over the rest of your line. Go through the loop once. Wrap it around again through the loop. Kind of see if you can make it kind of clean like that. That looks good. And then go underneath your line again and through itself. And then tighten it up. And it is a taut line hitch. And it will loosen and slide up and down as well. Taut line hitch.
All right. This is embarrassing. I got back to the rig and we were all taking off. I realized my keys were missing. I have been using this Aero vest, and I'm packing differently than I usually do. And I put it in one of the pockets, the front pockets, and it fell out somewhere. Fortunately, I was with a couple pros, Barry and Helga here, who are expert trackers, search and rescue. They went over our entire path basically, doing a search and a little bit of grid search too, and just had a lot of eyes on it and found it at the edge of the creek where I'd gotten water. We all kind of suspected it was there from the start, but So glad that Barry spotted those. Kind of embarrassing, but usually I always put them in a zip pocket. I have learned my lesson. Thanks, you guys. That was a very enjoyable search and rescue training. Great to meet a lot of new people there and get some more skills. I really need to work on tying knots and figuring out my GPS better, which I knew going in. I just downloaded a new GPS, so I'm just figuring it out. It's interesting how many different GPSs they were, and they're all a little different, and the way you enter the coordinates are a little bit different. Like, I was getting my coordinates off because I was not entering a T-10 and then the rest of the numbers. I was leaving the T10 off, or 10T, and then I was doing them together, and with a lot of GPSs you don't even have to add that prefix, but with my GPS it actually has to have a space between the 10 and the T, as I believe it was. But each of the GPS units were different, so it's like we each had to, and everybody who was new or had used them even for some time were learning new things about their GPS as they were out there, for the most part. So not everybody, but several people were. So, and even reading maps, I know how to read a map and the coordinates, but just interacting, everybody's got a different opinion and we're working together. There's a lot of distractions, and so it's easy to kind of get off on that. Or just it was taking me more time to read where I was and to be sure and try to understand what other people were saying. But all in all, it was a good training, and what I enjoy most about it, of course, is just being with other people, and look forward to doing some more trainings and hopefully taking all of you along. And I encourage you to join a search and rescue team yourself. At least get out there and know your world. There's so many beautiful places in nature, and such rich experiences that we can have and tools that we have that to keep us safe and help us enjoy it better these days. So I wish you all well, and I hope to hear in the comments below your stories. Thanks for watching Rat and Cat, and we'll see you next time.